Hey everyone, welcome to today's Entrepreneurs Hangout podcast. I am here with one of our very heart driven, helpful leaders, Cathi Cordon, all the way from Texas. Cathi, say hey to everyone.
Hi, y'all. How you doing? And I want to say it's 72 degrees outside, so that's why I moved to Texas.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, we've had amazing, beautiful weather here
Oh,
in
good.
Virginia. A few
And yeah,
cold days, but like the sun is out today and we are happy.
yes. And where you live is just stunning, beautiful Shenandoah, fall colors, all that stuff.
Yeah, Kathy and I had a chance to visit just a little bit, and you're actually from like 25 years in the DC metro area, yes?
Yes, I am. We moved here 4 years ago. A little bit of semi-retirement, and but we have friends and memories and so much richness of life in the Northern Virginia area for most of the time, but the whole DC metro area. And then you guys were like a day trip to go out to lunch or to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
someplace cool for dinner. So
yes.
it's a beautiful area of the country.
It is. We got great chef-driven restaurants and breweries and wineries and like loads of fun stuff, trails and hiking stuff and all that. So, hey, Kathy, so let's dig into it.
Okay.
I love the fact that we met on LinkedIn. And you guys, if you're not using LinkedIn, you're really, really hurting yourselves by making sure that you can connect with people that you want to do business with.
Yes.
So, Kathy, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about Grit and Grace Consulting. And then I know that we are going to be talking a lot about leadership today. So it's going to
Yeah.
be an exciting, exciting show.
Right. And Grit and Grace Consulting got born this summer. It isn't the first time I've been an entrepreneur at all, and it isn't the first time that I've done consulting, but it is a turn in the road for me.
Mm,
Been a real transition. 8 years ago, 8.5 years ago, I went into real estate. Both of my parents were in real estate. I was, in my mid 60s. It was time to kind of focus for the end, and it was something I'd always wanted to do. And that's where all over the Northern Virginia and the DC area, I sold
hmm.
houses. I worked with seniors
Okay.
that needed to downsize, and that's a really different. It's not about the house; it's about making sure the senior has all of the pieces together.
Mm,
And I absolutely loved it. And then we moved to Texas, and I have some underlying health issues with my immune system, and my body just says you're not doing this anymore, girl. So
do something
I
different.
yeah, so I reached back. I went into real estate after almost 50 years in the nonprofit human services,
Okay.
primarily working with kids,
Hmm.
working in behavioral health, working in out of school, after school time programs for kids, working for a little while in youth ministry, working on a national level for mental health, substance abuse prevention programs, after school and out of school time programs for kids. Um, and then I ran a residential child welfare agency in
Wow.
Southern Connecticut for 90 high risk adolescent boys. So my life has been mission driven.
Yes.
And my real struggle when I got into real estate, even though I really wanted to do it, was how do I fit that mission piece in?
Yes.
And
Yes.
working with the seniors did that.
Yeah.
And so now that I'm broadening my audience and
Okay.
really want to work with primarily female entrepreneurs and nonprofit leaders,
Right.
because small business owners, entrepreneurs, and we all have that ownership of it.
Hmm.
The nonprofit groups have the ownership of it, and sometimes we don't see ourselves as the leaders that we're called to be. And so
Yeah.
that's where my spark is,
Okay.
to and it prevents so many problems when you can really ground yourself in your leadership. So that's kind of how I got to where I am.
Yeah. I want to step back just a little bit because I like, so, you obviously had a look at my LinkedIn profile and I'm very mission driven.
Yes.
I'm proud to say that I'm a cheerleader for God, and I do a lot of different things as well, right? But everything that I do, I primarily focus on mission-driven people, mission-driven values, and how we can serve those. So I love that that's where you started first, and then you're like, okay, wait, I do pivot a bit, right? You are pivoting, that's right. And but also how do I stay within that mission-driven core
Right.
principles and still do what I want to do. So that's amazing. I mean, leadership is obviously one of them. You can still, like, again, you like doing real estate, it's with the seniors. That's your mission.
Yes.
Selling homes is just one of the key factors of what you do.
Right.
Yeah.
When right. And the other thing is that I supported the Senior Services of Alexandria, and I supported the Arlington County Housing for Seniors, and I supported a number of different organizations that were senior nonprofits
Hmm.
within the community because I came out of a model having been a leader of several community-based nonprofits where I understood the importance of connecting
Yeah.
together in the community and
Yeah.
bringing our resources together. And yeah, the ebook that I have for the agents that I've trained to and have that want to serve seniors, because it's different real estate than just regular real
Yeah.
estate,
Absolutely.
is called "It's Not About the House."
Oh,
It's
okay.
not
I
about
like
the
it.
house at all. Yeah. So it,
And
it is.
and
It's
by the
always
way,
about
we
the
will put
person.
those, we'll put the link in there on how to get your ebook when it's
Okay.
all done and in the show notes. So that'll be great.
Okay. I appreciate that.
You got it. You got it. So I spent 25 years in commercial real estate and I loved it.
Ah,
I was very specific on what I did. I did not put Mr. and Mrs. Smith in the back of my car and then take them around to show them houses. That was not my
no,
deal.
no. That my dad was
However,
a commercial realtor
yes,
for years,
yeah,
as was my brother. So I
yeah,
understand the difference.
yep, and I loved it. I loved it. So now let's get into a little bit about like what you think where the big impact without burnout. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing, whether it's in your course or how are you teaching that?
I'm I'm still in the baby steps of this because
Okay.
I just started in August. So I have developed one of the things that when you look at an entrepreneur, and I also always see nonprofit leaders as being entrepreneurs because you got to
Oh,
be really
sure.
creative in there, is we're risk takers, we're driven, we're creative, and a lot of times we go by the seat of our pants and build the plane while we're flying it and all of those. And I find that when we don't take time to plan
Mm,
and to
mm.
think through the strategies and to position ourselves and to look at where we're going, that we operate out of stress, we
Hmm.
operate out of reactivity, and we aren't on our game. And
Yeah.
so that whole piece about coming back together and grounding yourself as a leader is really important. And what I've done so far, and then I have plans for first quarter of next year and second quarter of next year to really dig this deeper, is for the last year and a half, I've had a weekly e-newsletter that
Oh,
really
nice.
talks about it talked at first to agents that serve seniors, and now I have broadened it to a number of probably about 250 other people who are in business
Hmm.
or are nonprofit leaders. And I'd be happy to put the link to have folks sign up for that
Yeah,
because
that'd
it's
be
going to
great.
move to a monthly newsletter next year. But the goal of it is to, in bite-sized pieces, really remind people that if we're not taking care of our inner leader, we can't be a leader to those around us
Right.
effectively.
Right.
And I had mentioned to you before we came on that I had dealt with some health issues. And the net of that is that all the years that I spent pushing hard, all the years when I was the CEO of the Child Welfare Agency, and when the time I was a realtor and I was pushing so hard and the market was so hot and I was moving and moving, and we had an expression, hair on fire.
Yeah.
And that is really unhealthy. And my immune system and my central nervous system have taken a major hit. So I have a lot of conversations left to have before I hang it up. And so this is what I'm calling my legacy lab. So I'm starting, it's going to be a once a month e-newsletter, and it's going to be really rich content. And I want to do, and part of it's I'm old school because I'm old, is I want to do one-on-one. I want to support the leadership of small business and nonprofit of all levels, but mostly those that are established and are finding that they can't quite figure out how to grow because they're still doing stuff that other people can do.
Right.
They're still not willing to let go of things. In systems theory, we talk about enmeshment, and in my previous life as a counselor, we talked about that in terms of family systems. Here we talk about, and I've done this, I am guilty here, really getting my identity caught up with either my business or my position.
Right.
And so when you don't have that little space between, you set yourself up to burn out.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think people go down that, that rabbit hole of burning out. And unfortunately, they don't see it coming. They don't feel it. It's only then when it's then too late because, you've been hustling on that hamster wheel. It's no, and you guys, there's no fault of it. Everybody's been there. I can't imagine.
And nobody does it to themselves on purpose.
No. Right.
No.
Exactly. And it's, but with support, you can avoid it, I think, or you can at least put the brakes on and say, whoa, I think I know what's happening here. And, and you want to be able to be effective in your business, in your nonprofit, in whatever impact that you want to be able to do with whatever it is you're doing. Maybe it's volunteer work, and you can easily have a burnout. So what made you think of the pivot when obviously you got to Texas, you had some health issues, and you said, oh, wait a second here, I can do this?
I had done some of this consulting and coaching in an interim period, again, with health issues, that I did program development for major new programs for nonprofits, and then did the grant writing for it. And I did consulting for fund development in a number of nonprofits. I was the interim vice president of development for an organization in New England. So I'd had that experience, and I had a period of time when I was really trying to decide. It was the first part of this year, really decide what I was going to do. And my husband and I went back and forth in these conversations. And I said, if I was really ready to hang it up, I would connect with 2 or 3 really good nonprofits. I would be their part-time grant writer. I would sit at home, and I would contribute to a mission-based organization, which is really important to me.
Yep.
But on the other hand, I bring knowledge, I bring experiences, I bring, the experience of having broken my brain as a result of doing this. And so I bring my original job way back in the day that I broke away from doing direct service was in behavioral health and mental health substance abuse counseling.
Right.
So I bring the sit with you and explore what you're not seeing in yourself, sit with you and to help develop resources, ideas, coping strategies, reframing things to be able to make better, stronger, more strategic decisions. I bring
Right.
that since day one. I bring that since 50 years ago. And so I really wanted to, this is my legacy lap. That's
That's
what I'm
nice.
calling it.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to share what I have learned over the years, not in a see, I told you so kind of way at all.
Yeah.
But when you're in your 50s and 60s, and those leadership years
Mm-hmm.
where you really have the responsibility and it can really take a toll on you, I don't think people understand what the long-term piece of that is. And that there are ways to do two things.
Yes.
One is, like I said, put that distance in between yourself and your business, your nonprofit. I worked for the National Mental Health Association as a senior director in the early 2000s. And we were really thinking we were saving the world because
Yeah, absolutely.
we really were doing some things to get people access to services on a national
Mm.
level.
Mm.
We had a
Mm-hmm.
joke. It's Wednesday and I've already been here 40 hours.
Yeah.
And so that isn't healthy.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can look back at that and say, there are some ways to reschedule yourself.
Yep.
There are some ways that you use your calendar to schedule priorities. You don't prioritize your calendar.
Right.
And
Right.
that you can do self-care that goes beyond. People used to send me little bath salt bombs for Christmas, or
Yeah.
give me a gift card to get a massage. And it's like, yeah, that's important, but it has to be a consistent piece
Right.
of
It's
your
not just once
self-care.
a year.
It
No,
isn't.
no. Right. Right. Right.
And I guess the last piece that just popped into my mind is that when I was at the Child Welfare Agency, I had times that I would tell the right people, but I would just take off. And I was in Southern Connecticut, and there were lots of gorgeous places for me to go, and there were a lot of antique shops for me to go.
Right.
So, but it was at the point when I was ready to take myself or somebody else out.
Yeah.
And that
When
is
you get
not
too much, it's just too much.
when it's too
Right.
much. And
Right.
how do you manage the yellow flashing lights?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, uh-oh. Something
Yeah,
just happened. Yeah, my camera just went out. That's okay. Sometimes
you
things
just keep
happen.
talking. Yeah, you
Oh,
just keep
funny.
talking.
Well, you know what? It's Kathy. Sorry, I'm not quite sure why that happened, but that's okay. Kathy, so before we wrap it up, I know that in the show notes, we'll have your ebook link that's there, which is awesome. And we'll also link that, your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook. And I would love to be able to keep it, just keep in touch, how we can stay in touch, how we can be able to collaborate and help each other out so that either one of
Absolutely.
you or I don't have burnout.
Right. And I think that's, if I can give that gift to 50 people in the next 5 years, I will have considered that at a really deep level. I will have
Yeah,
considered it a real win. And
absolutely.
one other thing before we go, because I want to have mentioned this, is that
Even weirder.
I'm doing a workshop, and this is airing on the 12th and 13th.
Okay.
I'm doing a workshop on the 18th. What you need to think through before you plan for your business. And it's
Okay, great.
specifically for entrepreneurs and small business owners who you get out there and you're just kind of busy doing everything, and you throw numbers at the wall and you hope they'll stick next year. Or you have conversations with your people and you say, yeah, I think we can do this and I think we can do that. Okay, let's go. There's some strategic questions you need to ask beforehand. And so what I'd like to do is to put the link for that course into the show notes as well.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say what that was. Okay. It's on the
You got
18th
it.
at 5 o'clock your time on the 5 o'clock Eastern PM on the 18th.
Wonderful. I love it, love it, love it. So you've been fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Leadership is so important. And I'm sorry
Yes,
about my camera. I got to figure this out, but that's all right. We can ad lib because we are creative women. So
that's right.
everybody, thank you so much. And if you'd like to be a guest on the Entrepreneurs Hangout, please reach out to me. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. Just say me, me, me. I want to be a guest, and we will get you scheduled. Thank you so much, Cathi. I really appreciate you. And everybody, bye for now.
Thank you, Kylie. I really appreciate you too.